a significant victory in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, that through Medicaid funding, states do not have to use Medicaid funding. They can cut off Planned Parenthood through Medicaid funding. This would affect Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
These decisions weren't happening 4 years ago, or even 2 or 3 years ago, before some of these recent appointments actually got on the bench. But we are seeing a whole turnaround in what federal courts are going to do on the issue of life. These cases build on factual records that the ACLJ, in its litigation over the years, sometimes even in losing litigation, has established. The cases out of Texas, Louisiana are based on the CMP videos, Center for Medical Progress. We represented a board member of the Center for Medical Progress. There were cases filed in Texas against Planned Parenthood for billing practices that we were involved in years ago. All of these are part of the case that we saw today out of Texas and Louisiana, and that's kind of the nature of what we do. It doesn't happen overnight, but we're now seeing the fruits of our labors finally.
This is a huge pro-life victory, and it sets the stage for how states can defund Planned Parenthood through a Medicaid, which is a program that the federal government and the states administer together.
We now have what we call a split in the circuits regarding that issue, whether or not Planned Parenthood can sue under federal law to question a state's determination that they are no longer a qualified provider under the Medicaid law. And you have a split in the circuits where you've got the Fourth Circuit, the Sixth, the Seventh, the Ninth, and the 10th, all saying that Planned Parenthood does, in fact, have that right. But now with the Fifth Circuit's decision, you've got the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, you've got the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals saying that no, Planned Parenthood doesn't have that right. The Supreme Court, as much as it wants to try to avoid controversy at times, is not taking an activist approach to these things. It's not going to be able to ignore this issue much longer.
Now Planned Parenthood has to make a decision that used to not be so difficult for them, which is, Jeff, if they take it to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rules against them and says, yeah, all the states can do what Texas and Louisiana did, then there's about 26 states I can point to right now, because they're Republican state legislatures and governors who would probably, knowing that it's not going to face the kind of, that they've got Supreme Court precedent backing them if Planned Parenthood loses, that this could be where more than half the states in the country are able to defund Planned Parenthood through Medicaid.
There are limited Medicaid dollars available to the states. So, of course, they should be evaluating whether or not they want to spend those limited dollars on a life-ending procedure when they have an obligation to spend them on life-saving procedures. There's a lot of substance here that people don't think about.
If they lose Planned Parenthood at the Supreme Court, states have the precedent to go in, not have to worry about the legal challenges so much, and do exactly what Texas and Louisiana have been fighting to do since we've been with that fight since 2015, so since the Obama administration. And it underscores to you how you can move forward in these battles, regardless of if you've got a friendly administration like the Trump administration or a hostile administration like a Biden administration.